Not the crowded wonders or famous landmarks, but the surreal fragments where nature hides its most majestic creations, as if holding them back for those curious enough to seek them out. In the mist-shrouded mountains of China, the sandstone pillars of Wulingyuan, an area of more than 3,000 stone pillars, up to 200 meters high, grow like a forest of spears. A suspended world where suspension bridges stretch between mountain peaks like fragile threads stretched between heaven and abyss. But if nature can create refuges in the sky, on the other side of the earth, it burns. In Moab, Utah, the rocks glow red like burning embers, creating a landscape that looks less like Earth and more like a forgotten planet. The region is home to Arches National Park, which has more than 2,000 natural stone arches. And just when you think you've seen the brink of splendor, Ireland whispers otherwise. At the cliffs of Moher, 200-meter-high rock walls plunge straight into the Atlantic Ocean, as if the earth was once torn apart by an invisible force and never quite healed. These places don't just leave you in awe, they make you wonder how many more wonders are still hidden, waiting to be discovered, to be seen for the first time. Boulay 10. Fenglin Jiaxing. Boulay's scenic area shows the pristine beauty of the southwest mountain range, with limestone mountains stretching over 100 square kilometers, red maple forests in autumn, and clear winding streams. Red maple forests in autumn and clear winding streams. When the sunlight shines through the maple leaves, the entire area glows red, yellow, and orange, like a vivid painting. The waterfall falls from a height of more than 100 feet, about 30 meters, over mossy rocks, creating a gentle sound like wind chimes echoing from the depths. Boulay Forest has wooden stilt houses located along the hills with black tiled roofs and solid stone pillars, creating a feeling of both solidity and antiquity. Some people say they hear their names or messages about what to do next in life. No one can explain the sounds, but the stone is still rotated and seen as sacred. Lake Baikal is the deepest freshwater lake in the world, with a depth of about 5,387 feet, 1,642 meters, and an age of more than 25 million years. It contains about 20% of all the unfrozen fresh water on the planet, more than 23,000 cubic kilometers of water. The water is so clear that you can see over 31 feet, more than 9 meters, deep. In winter, the lake freezes over with a layer of crystal-clear ice up to 1 meter thick. The crack Lake Baikal is the only place on Earth where freshwater seals live, representing an ancient and unique ecosystem. This is the Baikal seal, Pusa sibirica, with an estimated population of around 100,000 individuals, unique among freshwater seals. Tiny creatures in the lake help clean the water naturally, keeping it pure without human help. For example, tiny crustaceans like Episcura baikalensis make up 80% of the lake's plankton biomass. For the local people, the lake is sacred and associated with long-standing legends and traditions. Ancient rituals are still held every year, such as the Baikal Day in August to honor the lake. As my village lies among pine forests and deep valleys with clear blue skies, streams and blooming flowers create a picturesque natural scene. Every spring morning, sunlight shines through the mist and reflects on the curved tiled roofs of the ancient houses, lighting up the whole village. Traditional wooden and stone houses with carved wooden doors, stone courtyards, and long porches create a sense of peace and closeness to nature. An old legend says that on the first night of the new year, a special stream stone shines gently when approached by someone sincere. If they put their hands on the stone and read a poem they wrote, they will gain insight and good luck in their studies for the whole year. No one can explain that light, but the villagers believe that this stone contains spiritual energy and connects people to the light of wisdom in nature. Wulingyuan is a natural wonder formed over hundreds of millions of years, with more than 3,000 sandstone columns rising between 650 and 1,000 feet 305 meters into the sky. These rock towers were formed by erosion and weathering, creating one-of-a-kind landscapes found nowhere else. Wulingyuan's special feature is its dense collection of natural stone towers, shaped like mythical creatures. This area was recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site since 1992 and covers more than 26,000 hectares. A local legend says that these towers are the spirits of the mountains turned into stone to protect a sacred land. This place is located in the Wulingyuan area, China, with more than 3,000 needle-shaped sandstone pillars, formed more than 300 million years ago. Today, strict conservation is practiced, and visitors must follow fixed trails to avoid harming the fragile ecosystem. Wulingyuan welcomes more than 5 million visitors a year, but limits density to protect its 26,000 hectares of forest and rock. This is one of the rare places that has both great geological value and deep cultural and spiritual significance. The area has been recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site since 1992. Cliffs of Moher were formed more than 300 million years ago from the ancient seabed, uplifted and slowly eroded by strong sea winds and rain. The texture is mainly shale and carboniferous sandstone. The cliffs are over 700 feet high and stretch for over 5 miles, forming a massive natural wall next to the wild Atlantic Ocean. As the sunlight filters through the mist, the layers of rock change color from silvery gray to coppery red, creating a magical and changing scene. The area is home to more than 20 rare seabird species and thousands of individuals such as seabirds and gulls. It is estimated that over 30,000 birds nest here, including razorbills, puffins, and fulmars. This site is now strictly protected and offers controlled tourism to preserve the marine ecosystem and beautiful natural landscape. Moher attracts about 1.5 million visitors each year and has a state-of-the-art visitor center powered by renewable energy. Moby's an eerie sandstone region where red and orange rocks naturally formed over millions of years create a landscape that looks like another planet. Especially at Arches and Canyonlands National Park, home to more than 2,000 arches and formations like the 50-foot-tall Delicate Arch, formed over 65 million years of weathering and erosion. Some of the cliffs are hundreds of feet high and eroded into cracked curves, shaped like the earth once shook violently here. Some of the cliffs in Moab are over 400 feet high, formed over 65 million years of weathering. The large rocks are said to make a cracking sound at sunrise, like breathing, while the wind blowing through the narrow spaces sounds like a flute or a whisper. Rock crevices like those in Fiery Furnace Canyon, less than 1 meter wide, create unique sound phenomena. Visitors feel lost as they go deeper into the canyon, and the compass can shift slightly near a certain rock. This phenomenon has been recorded in the Navajo sandstone area, which contains iron magnetic minerals. With its surreal shapes and inexplicable events, Moab feels like the line between reality and the ancient world has all but disappeared. At night, strange flashing lights appear near the ground, making many people think of hidden energy. Some light phenomena are believed to be due to the electromagnetic effect that arises naturally from sandstone soil. With its surreal shapes and inexplicable events, Moab feels like the line between reality and the ancient world has all but disappeared. The Waitomo glowworm caves were formed over 30 million years ago from limestone, created by fossilized sea creatures, which was then shaped by rainwater into an underground chamber. The cave is about 40 meters deep and more than 250 meters long, including an underground river system and natural cave vaults. This place is famous for thousands of glowing balls suspended from the ceiling, creating a cave that looks like a magical starry underground sky. There are more than 30,000 glowworms, Arachnocampa luminosa, glowing here. The blue light from fireflies is produced by a rare biological reaction, creates a surreal and mysterious atmosphere. This reaction has a light efficiency of almost 100% without giving off heat, called cold light. In complete darkness, an underground river silently carries visitors through this magical landscape as if it were flowing. According to local legend, the light is said to have originated from the ancestors. The spirits guide the way through the darkness, giving the cave its sacredness. The cave is now strictly protected with a limited number of daily visitors, only about 700 people, and a ban on artificial light to preserve its fragile ecosystem. Angkor Thom is a huge ancient capital built over 800 years ago, famous for its solid stone walls and hundreds of giant stone faces looking in 4 directions. The most prominent face is that of Avalokiteshvara. Each face is over 4 meters high. The entire city is planned as a model of the universe based on Hindu beliefs, demonstrating advanced thinking in philosophy and astronomy. The entire area covers about 9 square kilometers, with the Baikal temple at its center. Millions of heavy stones were stacked on top of each other with perfect precision, without the use of any glue. Each block of stone may have weighed between 1 and 3 tons, and the construction technique has yet to be fully explained. Some areas within the city are said to have tunnels or underground floors, never been explored, adding to the mystery. Many local records speak of underground passages leading to the sacred river. Many electronic devices have been damaged when used near the central area, causing scientists to think there may be strange magnetic energy there. The magnetic fields measured at some locations deviate by plus or minus 5 microtesla from the normal magnetic background. In the early morning, when the sunlight shines on the moss-covered towers and the mist still floats, the scene looks like a forgotten sacred world. Chingy de Mar is a stunning natural heritage site in Madagascar, famous for its sharp limestone formations formed over millions of years by water and wind. These limestone towers are located in the Tsingy de Bemaraha area, covering an area of over 1,500 square kilometers, and have been recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site since 1990. This location is located in a remote area, requiring access through dense forests and rugged terrain, adding mystery and challenge to any exploration. The journey here usually takes more than a day of walking through dry tropical forests and deep rocky crevices. Scientifically, it is home to hundreds of unique species of plants and animals, many of which are not found anywhere else. About 85% of the flora and fauna here are endemic, including the Deccan's Sifaka lemur and more than 100 species of birds. World biologists consider this a living laboratory to study evolution and adaptation in harsh conditions. The cliffs, up to 100 meters high, create a unique three-dimensional labyrinth. Culturally, the local people consider this area sacred, linked to ancient times, beliefs, and a deep respect for nature. The surreal beauty of the sharp rock peaks gives the feeling of stepping onto another planet. Table Mountain is one of the oldest mountains in the world, with geological more than 260 million years old, and its strange flat top resembles a giant that might be sleeping. This is the symbol of Cape Town, South Africa, and one of the new 7 natural wonders of the world. It is about 3,563 feet tall and can create a cloud cover above like a white cloth that is locally called the tablecloth of the gods. This phenomenon is the result of southeast winds and high humidity and is called a tablecloth cloud. The strange thing is that even after millions of years of erosion, the summit plain remains almost unchanged. There are more than 1,400 species of plants here, which can only be found here, which makes it an open-air biological museum of global value. Of these, more than 250 are endemic species, belonging to the only fynbos ecosystem in the world. Many radio signals have been reported to become strange when flying near the summit, leading to theories of anomalous magnetic fields. Several small aircraft have reported temporary loss of contact within 2 to 3 kilometers of the summit. Cliff Village is located at an altitude of about 2,600 feet, nearly 800 meters above the ground, surrounded by steep cliffs and drifting clouds all year round, creating a legendary and impressive landscape. This is Atulair Village, China, in Sichuan province. From the village, you can see endless layers of mountains and floating clouds right at eye level, especially beautiful at dawn until the misty morning. 87. The houses here are built tightly against the cliffs with rocks, earth, and bamboo. Small but very sturdy for the steep terrain. One of the most unique features is the old rope ladders that were once used to climb the cliffs that hang hundreds of feet in the air. 89. Before 2016, people, including children, had to climb 17 rope ladders to get down the mountain. Although metal stairs have replaced the ropes, part of the old ladder remains a spiritual symbol of connection with the past. Travelers often stop to place their hands on the rough rope in silence, hoping for protection on their journey, their way through the majestic cliffs. Perito Moreno is one of the most impressive glaciers in the world, stretching for about 19 miles, about 30 kilometers, and standing nearly 230 feet, about 70 meters above the lake. The glacier is located in Los Glaciares National Park, Argentina. The glacier glows a bright turquoise in the sunlight, creating a look that is both majestic and surreal. The light reflects off centuries-old ice crystals. Unlike many other glaciers, this glacier has remained the same size for decades without shrinking. It covers an area of about 250 square kilometers and has a front width of about 5 kilometers. Sometimes large chunks of ice break off and fall into the lake, creating a thunderous sound and huge waves. Ice break-off events usually occur every 4 to 5 years, with large pieces of ice weighing thousands of tons. Perito Moreno is not only a natural wonder, but also a national symbol, a source of pride for Argentina, attracting more than 300,000 visitors each year. Wulingyuan community is a large urban area with hundreds of high-rise buildings, are packed tightly together to form one of the most modern complexes in the city. The project has more than 200 towers ranging from 20 to 60 floors high. Although it is a large development project, it is still close to nature, with parks, artificial lakes, hanging gardens, and shady walking paths. The public green area accounts for about 30% of the total urban area. In the morning and evening, people walk under the trees, exercise by the lake, or meditate in the garden, enjoying the peace in the concrete. Some people say that some floors in apartments always have lights on, but never show any signs of life, as if they are controlled by something invisible. Many people practice meditation at sunrise because this area has a special energy that helps calm the mind and increase inner focus. The combination of green space, modern design, and spiritual mystery makes Wulingyuan both practical and surreal. Practical and surreal. Baikal is a national park famous for its 10,000 feet, about 3,055 meters, high volcano, where you can watch the sunrise creating a brilliant sea of clouds. This is Baikal Peak on the island of Maui, Hawaii. Its landscape consists of a wide crater with red soil, black rocks, and volcanic ash, giving the feeling of walking on another planet. The crater is about 11.3 kilometers wide and 800 meters deep. This place is sacred in local beliefs, considered the home of the gods, and the place where the sun once stood still in ancient Hawaiian legend. The weather in Baikal changes rapidly during the day, from bright sun to cold mist just steps away. The temperature at the top of the mountain can drop below 0 degrees Celsius in the early morning. Faced with this sight, many people feel a deep sense of peace and realize how small they are. They are in the vast universe, as if touching a world beyond reality. Rafine is one of the rare coastal places that still retains its wild nature and ancient talismanic arms in the modern world. It is located on a limestone peninsula and has steep cliffs and crystal clear water that remains clear even hundreds of feet, over 100 meters, away from the shore. The narrow stone streets and old stone houses with red roofs create a scene that feels like it came from a fairy tale. There is a sacred story here about a statue of the Virgin Mary that washed up on the shore and could not be moved, which prompted the people to build a sacred site, a small chapel that has existed since the 18th century. Strange things like unusual lights and mysterious sounds are still reported, sometimes attracts curious tourists and explorers. Thanks to strict conservation rules and sustainable tourism efforts, Rafine retains its ancient identity and offers visitors a timeless experience. Fingal's Cave is one of Scotland's most unique natural wonders, formed by perfectly hexagonal basalt columns, created through ancient volcanic eruptions some 60 million years ago. Some visitors have said they feel time slow down while inside, and others report hearing whispering sounds of unknown origin. When the waves rushed into the cave, they hit the cave walls and created an echo that sounded like the music of an organ in a cathedral. At certain times of the year, sunlight enters the cave and creates a vertical shape, a beam of light that looks like a mythical pillar of fire. Photographs taken inside the cave sometimes show strange distortions of light, as if the space itself is bending. Fingal's cave is about 69 meters long, 20 meters high and 14 meters wide. Fingal's cave is not just a sea cave made of rock, but a place where natural physics meets the profound mysteries of antiquity. The legend of Bicycle Village is a place hidden among the mountains and forests, where time seems frozen and nature remains beautiful and intact. Surrounding the village are bamboo groves, misty hills, and gentle streams flowing all year round, creating a fresh and peaceful atmosphere. Old wooden houses with moss-covered roofs line the mountainside, creating a simple yet captivating mountain scene. In spring, wildflowers bloom all over the hills, while autumn brings golden leaves that cover the village in tranquil beauty. Legend has it that ancient alchemists once lived here and left behind mysterious things, symbols and sacred trees of strange shapes. There are at least 7 symbols carved on the rocks that have not been deciphered. The combination of poetic scenery and spiritual depth makes Baikal Village a 132. The Mendenhall Glacier is about 13 miles. Formed thousands of years ago through layers of snow that were packed and compacted over time. The surface of the natural glacier is blue, reflecting the sunlight like crystal and creating a scene that is both cold and bright. A rare phenomenon here are ice caves inside glaciers, where light shines through the thick ice to create brilliant blue spaces. These caves are constantly changing as the ice melts, making each visit unique and unrepeatable. The average ice thickness is around 30 to 60 meters. Many visitors standing in front of the giant iceberg feel completely silent and realize how fragile the natural world really is. Bosing Falls is one of the tallest and most beautiful waterfalls, with water falling from a height of hundreds of feet, estimated at 280 feet, 85 meters, and creating a misty white curtain with echoes of sound. The waterfall is surrounded by lush forests and many layers of natural rocks, the shapes of which seem to have been carved by nature. The sound of water blends with the wind and the birds in the forest to create a natural scene, a symphony that makes the soul feel purified. Strangely enough, the water flow remains almost constant during both the dry and rainy seasons, making scientists confused and unable to determine the exact location of source. The average water flow is estimated to be about 4.5 cubic meters per second all year round. According to ancient legend, this is where the gods once descended to teach people wisdom and virtue. Bozang Waterfall is not only a beautiful natural landscape, but also a spiritual symbol, a place where people find peace and a deeper connection with the universe.